Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Is the XRP ledger decentralized? Spoiler alert. Yes, it is. That's it. You don't have to watch the rest of the video. That's it. That's the whole thing. No, I'm kidding here. Now, look, I know I've talked about this a little bit in recent videos, but today there are just more articles. I'm going to pull up two of them for you, bringing up an issue regarding whether or not the XRP ledger is actually decentralized. And all this is stemming from a conversation on Twitter surrounding Tiffany Hayden, who is definitely one of the more visible and active, I'd say, XRP community members. She's absolutely a wealth of knowledge. I'm certainly a fan of hers. And she has concerns about the XRP ledger, and I'm going to read through some of this because many of you may not be aware of what's going on there. I would say I agree with Tiffany on almost everything relating to XRP. On this, I might not entirely. I'll have to show you if I think the tweet that I wanted to cite is actually in one of these articles, and if so, I'll point out where. I respect your opinion, though, so regardless, I don't think that we all in the XRP community have to agree on everything to be friends. We can still be good friends. It doesn't matter, right? So that's the vast majority of what I'm going to talk about in this particular video here. But before we get going, please go ahead and hit that like button. Give me a good old thumbs up. Just delicately tap it, but don't smash it, because only dorks smash it. You don't need to do that. What? Seriously, I do want to ask. Why? It doesn't matter. It's not just in the world of crypto, but when people are requesting that you give the thumbs up if you're a YouTube content creator, why do so many of them say smash? It's the stupidest thing on the planet. No offense, because I know some XRP YouTubers say that. Sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. I swear I'm not. But it's not just XRP YouTubers. Like, everybody's just like, smash the like button. That's the reason I say delicately tap it, because the whole thing's stupid to me. And I've actually never explained that before. That's why I say that. It's just because I think the smash thing's ridiculous. So I'm doing something equally absurd. Just delicately tap the like button. And if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP, go ahead and hit subscribe. We'd love to have you hang around these parts. All right, let's get into the content here. So there's this tweet from Bitcoin Dude, D-O-O-D, I like that. And he tweeted out, one of the things I've always respected about at Hayden Tiff, that's Tiffany Hayden, she always calls it like she sees it, and this is definitely true. Ripple supporter raises, so yeah, here's the name of one of the articles I'm going to pull up. Ripple supporter raises concerns about XRP ledger network decentralization. So I got a couple things. There are comments below I want to share with you too, and I'll share with you my thoughts on this, but let me just read through a couple snippets from this article and the next one, and we'll get into all this stuff here, all right? And so it states up here, the Ripple community is getting worried about the development of the network and how there are not customers that want to run a Ripple node. At the same time, the Spring project seems to be affected by some projects that are taking their own path. All right. So it's Ripple, one of the largest companies in the cryptocurrency space, has been working in order to offer fast and cheap cross-border transactions for financial companies and banks. However, there are some issues that seem to be raising concerns among the Ripple community. Ooh, trouble in paradise. One of these individuals concerned about decentralization is Tiffany Hayden, which is a very active community member. And then it goes on and says, Hayden worried about validators. Oh, yeah, this is the tweet I wanted to talk about. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I think it is. In a recent tweet written by Hayden, she said that validators became a central point of failure and something that the network should certainly avoid. She mentioned that no XRP ledger services with paying customers are running validators as the whole community expects them to do, which is a potential central point of failure for the whole XRP ledger and network. And so there was a tweet from XRP Boy. You my boy, XRP Boy. And Tiffany responded to that. So let me first read the tweet from XRP Boy. He wrote, I don't understand the above snapshot about what Joel Katz, that's David Schwartz, Ripple CTO, is not important, encouraging, or better yet, enough. What are you guys worried about? Why would Ripple scrap everything and bounce? Is that the issue? And so Tiffany responded, they have become a central point of failure, in my opinion. The exact thing we are supposed to be avoiding. No XRP ledger services with paying customers are running validators like we expected them to. We have to acknowledge this. Okay, so this is one point, unless I'm misunderstanding her, but what she wrote seems pretty clear to me. I don't think that Ripple running the small percentage of validators that they're running, I don't think that that's a central point of failure. I think that they could go away. I think the entire Ripple company could go away, and given the decentralized nature of the XRP ledger, it would still be here to stay. It would be up and running. And Ripple employees have said as much. I mean, I've seen David Schwartz state the same thing in video format, so, and he's one of the co-creators of the XRP ledger. So unless this is out of context, I would say that I do have a different opinion than her. But I read through. I'm pulling from memory from the other day. I didn't pull up this specific portion of the thread, but I remember reading through it yesterday. And this tweet, when even before it made the news, I read this and it stood out to me, and I thought, huh. The central point of failure, Ripple, I don't see it. So I don't think this is out of context, actually. So if I'm missing something, feel free to drop a comment below, because the last thing I want to do is misrepresent anybody, especially in the XRP community. But that's the way that I see it. Yeah, Ripple goes away. XRP is here to stay. That's pretty much it. Although, look, her concerns about validators, and I respect that, and the effort that she was putting forth. I would say this: the emphasis on which she was placing the importance of more entities running validators is to be commended. So I definitely appreciate and respect that. All right, and so anyway, the piece goes on here. XRP and Ripple have a very active community that defends the project and promote every single new improvement in the whole ecosystem. However, some of the most popular supporters are starting to show some positive critics about the product. I think that they meant to write the word critiques. I'm confident that every single crypto media article is not proofread. 100% of crypto media articles, none of them are proofread. I'm certain of it. They're just constant typos and things that's all over the place. Anyway, yeah, and so you can go down here, and some people outside of the XRP community, Bitcoin maximists, are kind of having fun with this. And so this guy named Larry here in this tweet, Larry Cermak, wrote, "Now I've seen everything. The biggest XRP promoters are turning on it after price shrinks below 30 cents, which has nothing to do with it." But he retweeted, Tiffany Hayden tweeted that states, "If Ripple shutters tonight, the network won't last much longer." Okay, let me cover just a little bit from this next article on the same topic, and then the fun part to me is right after this. I'm going to read through this thread that I had when I initially started the video. There's some comments below that I think you guys are going to enjoy. But first, let me read this just a little bit from this AMB crypto piece, and it's titled "XRP Community's Tiffany Hayden Might Just Have Found a Solution to the Existing Validators Issue." Man, she's famous. She's famous today. All right, and the piece begins. After much discord in the XRP community, its new savior, Tiffany Hayden, and the community. What did I just say about typos and just proofreading your work? Its new savior, Tiffany Hayden, and they have two thes in there. Oh my God. And the community has decided upon a plan following long threads of conversations and brainstorming on solving the validators problem. A Twitter user at Sarcastic Legend said, "What about a grassroots funding campaign to start up a program to teach disadvantaged kids in public schools computer science /coding/IT/tech repair and have them run a validator as a project?" Sort of like the classroom hamster, which that's cute. I like that. And then the piece continues. "This sounds like something doable for the smooth function of the XRP ledger and the community." Another user at ZigXRP chimed in on the idea and tried to improvise it with a Codius contract that monitors validators against a set of key performance indicators. The user also added that a public-funded coil pool would be of great help to them for stream-based good validators' health/standings. Hayden thought it was a fantastic suggestion and threw it open to the XRP Community Fund. The community on Twitter supported the XRP enthusiast plan and upvoted it. XRP Research Center, a prominent XRP Twitter handle, also offered its support and said, "Upvoted. If this makes it to the next stages, I'm committing my whole XRP tip bot balance and every single tip I receive from now on." So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a fun thought. We'll see if anything comes of that. But again, it's all stemming from this particular thread. That's where all these articles are coming from. So let me go ahead and read through some of these comments. This is the fun part for me because I like getting more opinions on this stuff. All right, Galgatron chimed in here, and in response to the article, he used a very technical term to describe it. He said, "Lots of gobbledygook in that article." Oh, that's fun to say, gobbledygook. "Sure, a lot of XRP's value comes from Ripple's product line, but if Ripple disappeared, the ledger lives on." That's exactly how I feel. "It's not centralized. Ripple's 21% of validators disappear, but the remaining 79% continue on." And then somebody named Ryan James responded, Why is she saying that Ripple is the only one who can troubleshoot the ledger, i.e. the recent Stellar issue? What he means by that is the Stellar network went down, I think it was in May. It was very brief, but it did go down. But anyway, so why is it that she's saying only Ripple can troubleshoot the ledger? So what happens with the ledger if it goes down, whatever. If there's 79% of validators out there, some of them would know how to debug something, which I think is a valid point on his part. Galvatron responded to that. The Ripple software is open source with many contributors outside of Ripple. In other words, there is no dependency on Ripple to support/evolve the software. And then Mr. X responded, sure, but how is this not seen as a vulnerability? If Ripple is gone, who is coordinating? Why aren't other paying customers and those that have a stake in using the network running validators? Not talking community members here. And Galvatron responded to this, and this is a good point here. Actually, he's got 2 points in a row. This is all good. So he wrote, what is Ripple coordinating exactly? People get the software from GitHub and run it. Nobody has to ask Ripple for permission. They'd only need to ask permission from other validators to contribute to consensus, but that has nothing to do with Ripple. And he wrote, anyway, why would we expect paying customers to necessarily run a node? I love that point. Why would we expect paying customers to necessarily run a node? That's like saying Bitcoin miners need to run a full node. Securing the network is a completely separate aspect from using the network, and that's exactly how I feel. Because my stance, and I kind of said this in another video too, is if you're going to run a validator, understand that's so people that can leech off of you. That's a negative connotation. But you have to understand that if you're running a validator, it is, okay, great. So you see value in it. It's not like mining, so you're not getting some sort of financial compensation for it, but you care enough about the network and you're running, okay, super duper, but you understand that the vast majority of users will not be running validators, and you just have to be okay with that, and this just kind of works. And so Mr. X responded, I was just sharing her points and was curious to hear your counter to this. Thanks. Seems that after seeing what happened with Stellar recently, her confidence of the network staying up without Ripple is shaky at best. And then Galvatron responded to this. Oh man, Galvatron, you spicy sometimes. Here's what Galvatron said. Her understanding of software parallels my understanding of giving birth. Okay, I don't have a comment on that one. I'm not going to comment on that one. I probably shouldn't have even read that. I have no thoughts on that whatsoever. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I like Galvatron and I like Tiffany, but like they're, I've seen interactions between both of them, and I don't think they're best friends. I'll just say that. I will just say that. So I'll leave that. You just take that for what it's worth. Anyway, but I like both of them, and I think they're both valuable members of the XRP community. So that's me being diplomatic, but I really do believe it. So check this out. This is from Reuters, actually. And this is titled, Japan to Lead Development of Swift Network for Cryptocurrency Source. This doesn't have anything to do with Swift. I think when I read that article, I was like, the headline, I was like, what, Swift? What? And I was like, oh, I see what they mean. They're saying that Japan is leading the development of a new network that uses cryptocurrencies that will be somewhat like Swift. So the way that they titled that is kind of misleading. But anyway, so this is actually really, really, really short. So I'm going to read the whole thing so I can get the whole thought to you. It's like just a handful of sentences. But again, from Reuters here. Japan's government is leading a global push to set up an international network for cryptocurrency payments similar to the SWIFT network used by banks in an effort to fight money laundering. A person familiar with the plan said on Thursday. And by the way, the reason I'm reading this to you is they don't... This is kind of like secondhand information that Reuters is reporting on. And I want to, as I'm reading this, just ask yourself, like, what does this sound like? So anyway, the piece continues. Tokyo aims to have the network in place in the next few years, the person said, declining to be identified because the information has not been made public. A team related to the Intergovernmental Financial Action Task Force will monitor its development, and Japan will cooperate with other countries, the source said. It remains unclear how the cryptocurrency network would work. SWIFT is the international payments messaging system used by banks to send money around the world. FATF in June approved the plan for establishing the new network, which was proposed by Japan's Ministry of Finance and the Financial Services Agency regulator, according to the person. Both FSA and the Ministry of Finance declined to comment. And so, what does that sound like to you? And I gotta say, we know that there is a crazy amount of activity in Japan with Ripple, is there not? I mean, they were actually using Xcurrent as their local rails. Like, that's how messed up their financial transaction services were just domestically in Japan. Like that, so they're actually using Xcurrent for that, which was not what Ripple had envisioned when they created the software. But they asked Ripple, like, "Can we use it for this?" And they're like, "Yeah, that is," and that's actually what happened. And so, if this isn't somehow Ripple, what is this? If it's using a network for cryptocurrency, and it has to do with moving money, kind of like Swift moves money, except for, of course, Swift, they don't even settle. Like the Swift network, that's purely a messaging layer. There is no Swift. You have to go through other banks and have bilateral banking relationships, a string of them really, in order to actually settle transactions that are started on the Swift network. So I think their comparison could use some work here, but I get what they're saying regardless here. And so what else could this be, especially if it's on this scale? It just makes me wonder if something's kind of like slipped out early and there's going to be some sort of additional announcement regarding this. And that's speculation. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I just want to be clear to state that is speculation because I'm not a hype guy. But it just makes me wonder. That's all I'm saying here. So I thought I'd share it with you. Just take that for what it's worth too. So, All right. Next, I kind of like this. This is just a real quick thing. I just kind of that was funny. Somebody named Eric, and then number 27th Street Capital, so that's a long Twitter name. Anyway, yeah, he tweeted this out. I know XRP is good, but tell me why it is better than Bitcoin. And Zerpound had an excellent response, so I had to share it with you. He wrote, I've never waited literally an entire day for my XRP transactions to clear, nor have I paid a $35 fee to use XRP. Bam! Zerpound. Nailing it. I feel the same. This is another short one, but I had heard this before, but David Schwartz, Ripple CTO, one of the original creators of the XRP ledger, he tweeted this out just a couple hours ago today, and he has talked about this in the past. This isn't the first time, but it popped up, and I haven't talked about this, so I just thought I'd share it with you. And he tweeted this out. I sold Ethereum for solar panels when it was $1. At the time, I thought I was an investing genius. And I don't remember if he said previously at what level he bought in, but he must have bought in at Ethereum pretty low. And then he wanted to de-risk to whatever degree, and he sold Ethereum when it was $1. And as we know, during the bull run of 2017, it got up to about $1,500 each. Yeeks! But that's okay. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I just thought I'd share it with you. I don't blame anybody for choosing to sell anything. It doesn't, if you want to de-risk, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a wimp or weak or whatever. I don't like people talking like that. Frankly, I don't care what community you're in, whether you're an XRP or Bitcoin or whatever. Making fun of people for choosing to de-risk and get out of a particular investment. I can't really get behind that. Somebody wants out, they should get out, and we should just encourage them to do what they feel comfortable doing. Just my opinion. All right, I've got more to cover within this video, but just a fair heads up, because this is an XRP-centric channel, that's it for the XRP stuff, so I don't blame you if you want to check out for the rest of the video, but if you want to hang around good old Moon Lambo, I got a few other things I just felt like sharing with you. This next one's from Anthony Pompliano, and this guy, the reason I want to share it, I just found this entertaining, that's it. But somebody he knows sent a letter to a bank, and I'm just going to have to read this. I'm going to read the whole thing to you because I was thoroughly entertained reading this. Anyway, and I could sympathize, too, with the writer's point, even though it seems to be anonymous, essentially. But Anthony Pompliano tweeted out, someone I know sent this epic email to the CEO of RBC Bank. Nothing like cutting off your relationship with a bank and signing off, long Bitcoin, short the bankers. So, come on, that's funny. So I had to read through this, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to share it with everybody that's watching my video. So, but that's why I wanted to preface say, if you don't want to stay with me just because it's not XRP, I'm not offended. It's fine. But anyway, here it goes. Here's the letter. Thanks for your effort. I'm afraid things are just not working out between RBC and us. Oh man, it's like a breakup letter. This is rough. We have decided to take our business elsewhere. Please know that this is absolutely not your fault. You and blank, it's redacted there, have been great to work with. That said, our recent experience with RBC has been nothing short of horrible, and we just can't deal with all the nonsense anymore. We've been disappointed for a long time, and this is the last straw. We need our bank to be a partner we can rely on, who will help us be successful both personally and in business. RBC has been the complete opposite. It has been one of the biggest obstacles to our businesses for the last couple of years. Every single thing we had to do with the bank beyond simple day-to-day checking has been a major hurdle or just downright impossible. So much so that we actually stopped involving RBC for pretty much anything beyond checking. Other institutions have been easy to work with, despite not having an existing relationship with us. Getting a simple checking account for a family trust that owns a daycare is now proving difficult. This is just getting ridiculous. My wife, blank, redacted again, has been a customer of RBC her whole life. So are her parents, siblings, and their blank-year-old family business. So that's redacted as well. I have personally been an RBC customer for 12 years. We are also customers of yours through our last venture, blanks, that's redacted as well, with about $50 million in the account at one point. Heck, we are even RBC shareholders. If the bank doesn't know us by now, I don't know what else to do. The fact that we are considered suspicious customers because of our crypto holdings is nothing short of insulting. I am without words. There's absolutely no way we can continue doing business with an institution who believes they can dictate what we can and cannot do with our money. This is simply unacceptable and inexcusable to us. To answer the bank's question, yes, we do indeed have a very significant amount of crypto holdings, and we pay our taxes on it. No, we do not use it for money laundering, dealing drugs, or anything of that sort. Ironically, banks have been fined billions of dollars over the last few years for exactly this. It is clear that the banking industry is feeling threatened by Bitcoin, and honestly, it should be. It is the competition it deserves. Banks have abused their power for way too long, and treating customers like criminals because they hold crypto is just another example of this. I cannot wait to see the people taking that power back because the current system is broken. Nobody should have to ask for permission to run their small honest business, and this is now what we're being put through. With that said, I have a few requests from you at this point, and these got 4 bullet points. First bullet point, terminate the private banking relationship. Bullet point 2, close checking account for, and then it's redacted. Point 3, cancel credit card application for, redacted. And then parentheses, this has been pending forever. Point 4, stop family trust checking account process. All right. Please coordinate with the appropriate people at the bank to make all this happen. We will be gradually closing our accounts at RBC as we move things to another institution. I will be handling this on my own and should not require your help beyond what's above. I wish you all the best. I certainly hope RBC HQ hadn't gotten in the way of our business relationship, because I thought you did great work. Thanks again for everything. Long Bitcoin, short the bankers. That is kind of an epic letter, I gotta admit that. Even though I think it's kind of silly to think that banks are going to go away. So that's why when I hear short the bankers, it's a catchy line, long Bitcoin, short the bankers. But banks are going to be here forever. Actually, I responded to a tweet on that topic today. People are like, so what do you need banks for now that Bitcoin's here? And I had 2 points. I didn't think, this is not an exhaustive list by any means, but I wrote, for number 1, loans. Number 2, custody of cryptocurrencies. Bam, 2 right there. So banks are not going away. They're not going away. But you can take all that as well for what it's worth. All right, now this was just funny. This is Michael Arrington. And so given that he founded Arrington XRP Capital, this isn't a crypto-related thing, but I want to share it with you because it did make me laugh here, and I'm about to wrap up the video. So there's this tweet from somebody named Brandon, and the tweet says, not really a humane solution in my opinion. And then there's this picture on something. There's a picture that was, uploaded the picture, fine. But there was some text printed, and I'm not sure what they put it on, but it says, we plan to cut all homeless people in half by 2025. And so again, this guy wrote, not really a humane solution in my opinion. And then Michael Arrington responded, oh my God, please don't. And the one that made me laugh the most actually is by Flip XRP. And he said, wouldn't that double the issue? Cut all the homeless people in half. Okay, that's fun. And last thing I want to cover here, this is just another little thing that kind of made me laugh here. This guy, am I going to be able to say this right? Niraj K. Agrawal, I'm sure I butchered that. Just no words, just uploaded this. This is a Google search here, and it states, this is the search bar, somebody typed this in, how to comply with regulations that don't exist yet. I love that so much because that's what Ripple and every other entity operating within the crypto world has been struggling with for the better part of a decade. So I thought I'd just wrap up the video with that. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!